Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? And so week 3 is upon us for the NFL preseason. That's right. That means that we are getting ready to conclude the final weekend of the NFL preseason. And then after that, teams will finalize their rosters and get ready for the start of the NFL season. So hopefully we'll get some good football here today. I know we'll see a couple starters out there for Pittsburgh offensively here. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how things are going to play off. Speaking of the offense, the Pittsburgh Steelers here are with the football, and they'll be starting off from their own 12-yard line here. So their own 8-yard line. Let's see how things play out. Kenny Pickett up under center, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back, play fake. Rolling out, gets the completion, picks up 2 yards on the play. And that is Allen Robinson with the catch. Allen Robinson, the former Chicago Bears wide receiver. And so we've got Carmichael. We can't talk Steelers without Carmichael. Carmichael, what's good with you? How are you? How are you? All right, so we got 2nd and 8. Pick it up under center, trips to the top of the screen. 1 back in the backfield, Najee Harris. Receiver goes in motion, gets it to the receiver on the end around, and that's going to be Calvin Austin III. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on the play. That's going to make it 3rd and 5 coming up. Carmichael says, hello, JB. How are you doing? I am doing pretty good. Not bad at all. Feeling great. It's a Thursday, which means Friday's coming up, so JB is happy. Nothing like football on a Thursday, knowing that the weekend will be coming up soon. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 5. They're going to line up in a shotgun. They've got Jaylen Warren in there at running back. Tight end goes in motion, takes the snap. Pickett throws it. And, oh, man, look at that. Look at the way he dropped the ball in there, throwing it to Dante Johnson. Wow. Let's see, Carmichael says, I'm good. School started today. And so, okay, how was it? How was it? First day back, how was it? Does it feel different? Like, do you feel like just being older now, another year? How does that feel? So after that tremendous play that picked up 33 yards, the ball currently right now at the 46-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pickett back up under center here. Jaylen Warren in the backfield. He's going to get the carry. And look at Warren go. He picked up 6 yards on the play. I believe that Jaylen Warren needs to definitely get an increase in carries this season. I know that Najee Harris is responsible for about 40% of the team touches based upon last year, but I certainly would love to see Jaylen Warren get more. I just feel like that combination, tremendous. Let's see, Carmichael says, I tried to get here last week, but I couldn't. Oh, yeah, I understand that. I understand that. And you say it was okay. They have a new phone policy, and so, anytime they update the phone policy, it usually means they're getting more strict. So I hear you. All right, Pickett takes the snap, gives it to Harris, and Harris up the middle takes it all the way to about the Atlanta 36-yard line and a first down. That's going to be 12 yards right there on the carry. Let's see, Carmichael says, you told me Pickett for MVP, and so I got to give you credit where credit is due. Looking at this Pittsburgh Steelers team throughout what they've looked like so far, I know it's preseason, but I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing so far. They've done everything that you could ask of a team to do in the preseason, and they look good. They look really good. So I'm excited to see this team in the regular season. I know I have not personally included them in terms of one of the top tier teams, but they could certainly be this year's NFL dark horse team. And they're certainly going to be a scary team. That's for sure. No doubt about that. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I feel like, are for real. Carmichael says the Steelers offense has been pretty good. Oh, yeah, they've been tremendous. Tremendous. Meanwhile, Najee Harris off the right guard, no gain. Ball still right now at the 36-yard line. All right, so line up in the shotgun. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. They are 36 yards away from the end zone. Takes the snap. Defense sends the safety. And Pickett's going to take a shot one-on-one. And look at that catch. George Pickens. I don't need a replay to know that that's a catch when it's Pickens out there. Look at that. 35-yard completion, taking it all the way to the Atlanta 1-yard line. And we have seen Pickett hit Johnson. We've seen Pickett hit Pickens outside with some beautiful throws to the outside. You're seeing the development of Kenny Pickett in year 2. And I'm telling you, it may be preseason, but one thing's for sure, that throw would have been good in the regular season as well. Now they give it to Najee Harris, who finished it in the end zone for a touchdown. Important to take note, though, if you are, playing fantasy football, Najee Harris, if he gets into the goal line, if this offense can move to get them to the goal line like that, expect Najee Harris to have an uptake in rushing touchdowns this year. But just like that, a touchdown on the opening drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Carmichael says 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes versus the Bills starters. And so, yes, I did notice that. Even though you wasn't on the stream, I still mentioned, I was like, hey, Carmichael was talking about the Steelers. The Steelers, they showed up and they showed out. And so you guys are hitting the ground running. Who do you guys open up with again? I forgot who you guys open up against. What an excellent drive. Kenny Pickett was 3 of 3, and he wasn't dinking and dunking out there. He was taking some shots, and taking some deep shots, I should say. And so 70 yards. Wow. Pickens had a 35-yard catch. Dante Johnson had a 33-yard catch. You had Najee Harris, 3 carries, 13 yards, and a touchdown. I think we've seen enough of the offense here. I think we've seen enough. And they clearly right now have found something. They seem closer as a unit. There are just certain things that you're looking for in the preseason, and you want to see how they gel, and that's certainly what you're seeing, especially being on the same page with those passing catches. You can tell that's something they worked on heavily in the offseason to continue to improve upon. I know last year they didn't take a lot of deep shots because, quite frankly, Mike Tomlin said, hey, it wasn't working, let's dial it back. But this year, if they come out like that, best believe we'll see a new and improved Pittsburgh team. And it's not like they were bad last year. Last year, I considered them sort of like the Patriots last year, towards the middle of the road and stuff like that. But if they can take that elevation, and Kenny Pickett, I mean, if he's balling like that, look out. Look out. Carmichael says, let's go. It might be preseason, but you don't care. You say you play the 49ers week 1. Speaking of the 49ers, Trey Lance being dropped to the 3rd string quarterback. Considering what San Francisco traded up for to acquire him, all the assets that they gave up, look at the players that was drafted after him. And you have to think, if they drafted someone else, like imagine if the 49ers had drafted, not even a quarterback, I'll just say Micah Parsons. Imagine if they drafted him, but everything else worked out according to how it did, how much better they would be if they took him, maybe someone else. So many players you can go down the list of who they could have drafted, but they didn't draft. And it's just like, wow, like they could have kept those same assets and stuff like that and drafted maybe even a better quarterback. Who knows? But it's insane. And obviously, in hindsight, it's 2020. So, it is what it is. But just thinking about what could have been for them. But I'm looking forward to that matchup there. I am looking forward to that matchup. And JB's going to do his best this year to try to do my weekly predictions throughout the entire season and get them in on time. So I'm going to try to be more up with that, so that way I can keep track of how my picks work throughout the season in terms of who's going to win and who's going to not. So, yeah, but I am looking forward to it. And now Pittsburgh's about to kick things off. We're going to look at Atlanta here offensively shortly. Catches it in the end zone, brings it out. He's at the 10, 15, shakes off some guys. And, he's brought down at about the 18-yard line. And so now we'll get to look and see the Atlanta Falcons here at home in this one. Final preseason game. Let's see how they look here. We're going to take a good look at Tyler Heineke here and just see how this offense looks with him. Carmichael says, could have drafted Mac Jones. They really could have drafted Mac Jones without giving up those picks there. I'm sure in hindsight, I know that they felt bad. They felt bad for how this played out there for Trey Lance, but this is the NFL. If you can't cut it, that's just how it is. All right, they snap the ball and they give it to Algier. And I'm sorry, not Algier. It looked like Algier for a second, but that's Godwin on the carry. And Godwin went backwards, lost 4 yards on the play. Now, I will be looking to see the interior of the linebackers, the inside linebackers, how they look against this Atlanta team that we know Atlanta, they're a team that likes to run the ball. So seeing plays like this where you get in the backfield and you make a play, I like to see it. All right, here we go. One back in the backfield. Tight end goes in motion. Multiple tight ends on the play. Play fake. Heineke looking. And Heineke's brought down. And it's T.J. Watt with the sack. We're not even in the regular season yet. T.J. Watt's already first pass play of the game for Atlanta. He's already back there. Wow, that is impressive. Carmichael says they failed Lance. And so, all right, so you say that's more so on the 49ers. Do you believe that if Lance went elsewhere, that Lance would have potentially a better career elsewhere? But what a big-time play by T.J. Watt. 3rd and forever for Atlanta. They throw it across the middle. It's actually incomplete. Incomplete. He was aiming for Fitzpatrick on that one. John Fitzpatrick, the tight end, number 87, but he could not handle it. So Atlanta, 3 plays, negative 11 yards, and they're going to punt the ball from inside their own 8-yard line. And so, again, this is Taylor Heineke running the offense here for Atlanta, so not their starting quarterback, Desmond Ridder, but, man, that is not what you want to see there on your first offensive drive if you're a Falcon fan. Carmichael says T.J. Watt. Carmichael says Steelers to the Super Bowl confirmed. Catches it in midfield on a punt return. Still moving at the 40, 35. Brought down at about the 29-yard line. So excellent field position. And that's Calvin Austin III with the return. What doesn't he do for this offense? That's a 21-yard return. And again, no penalties or nothing like that. So anytime you get a return like that, no penalties. It's the mindset. It's like what I alluded to last stream and stuff like that. In the preseason, you look to establish the culture. You want to build confidence. You want to set the tone for what to expect. And even if this game doesn't count to the regular season, it still matters. You want to install to your guys, we go out there and we play hard regardless of situation. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to give it our all. So here we go. Kenny Pickett out of the shotgun, Atlanta sending pressure. It's a screen for Najee Harris. And Najee, still on his feet, pushed out of bounds at the Atlanta 13-yard line. So we are in the red zone here once again for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Because Pittsburgh does not want to stop scoring, guys. Like, they are ready for week 1. Week 1 can't get here fast enough for these guys. I'm excited for them. I am excited for your Steelers, Carmichael. I have to reevaluate the way that I'm looking at that division, honestly, because I'm seeing a lot of good things. All right, so we got a 1st and 10. Tight end goes in motion. Now you've got the slot receiver in motion. Gives it to the back, and Harris finding room, picks up about 5 yards on the carry. Now we've got 2nd and 5 coming up from the Atlanta 8-yard line. So 8 yards away from the end zone. Let's see, Carmichael says, I told you Kenny would be top 15 quarterback this year. And so I'm looking forward to seeing Kenny in year 2. I am looking forward to it. All right, picking up under center, multiple tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Pickens goes in motion. They give it to the back, and that's Jalen Warren. And Warren, look at Warren extend for the end zone. And that's going to be a touchdown. Jalen Warren picked up 8 yards on the carry. He's now got 2 carries for 14 yards and a touchdown. At this point, I just wonder how much longer are we actually going to see the starters get to play, because, I mean, they're getting touchdowns as if touchdowns are free throws out there. I mean, excellent job, though. He took on the contact, kept his balance, which was so critical, kept his balance there, didn't touch the ground until he got in the end zone there. That's a running back that says, hey, I want this touchdown. And that's very important in the regular season, because you know in the regular season, if he gets stopped at the 1-yard line, they're probably going to put in Najee Harris to finish a touchdown. So he's someone that's like, nope, I want to finish it myself. Extra point is good. So 14-0 is our score here in the first quarter with 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Steelers up 14-0. We come back. Let's see if the Atlanta Falcons can get something going here on this second drive, as they have negative yards so far in this game. Carmichael says Big Ben won the Super Bowl in his 2nd year. Kenny Pickett in his 2nd year. So let's see if that correlates. That would really be something if that was the case. I remember Big Ben's rookie year. I mean, he had a tremendous rookie year. But it just happened to be that he ran into, Tom Brady and stuff like that. But I remember how he was that rookie year, and then that second year, things happened to really just come together. I remember that. I remember. Carmichael says better get used to hearing Steelers touchdown. And so, hey, we're all for it. We are all for it. That's what we love about the NFL season. Each year is completely different. And right now, we are currently at the commercial here. Again, I will be streaming tomorrow, and tomorrow's stream will be the Patriots and the Titans. So looking forward to that. Obviously, you guys know as a Patriot fan there, I'm looking forward to seeing how we're looking at last preseason game and also taking a look at Tennessee and stuff like that as well. So a lot of things to look forward to. Colin says, can't wait to hear Steelers win week 1. And so regular season is almost upon us. It's just a countdown. We are looking forward to it. And not only that, Carmichael, are you ready for our fantasy football draft as well, which is going to be the 1st of next month? So September 1st. Have you been doing any mock drafts or any type of preparation for it? Again, Kenny Pickett so far, he is 4 of 4 for 86 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Meanwhile, Taylor Heineke, he is 0 for 1 so far, so not really his fault, but he was sacked that one time by TJ Watt. Atlanta did try to run it last time for one time with Godwin, and he lost 4 yards on that one. So Atlanta looking to try to rebound here. Kickoff on the way. Gets it from his own 2-yard line. He's at the 15, 20, brought down at about the 23-yard line, and that's where the Atlanta Falcons will take over with the football, trailing 14-0. Let's see. Carmichael says Will McDonald Jones play tomorrow. And so I believe that the expectations is that he should play tomorrow. But I have not confirmed whether or not that will be the case. But I believe that he will. Carmichael says, JB, I'm ready for the draft. And so, I bet. I'm looking forward to it. That's all I do. Like, at least 40 minutes out of my day every day just doing mock drafts. Meanwhile, gives it to the back, and Godwin's going to pick up a yard on the carry. Again, Pittsburgh right now 2-0 in the preseason. I know we saw Baltimore lose in the preseason, so their streak is done. So can Pittsburgh be that next team to carry the torch in the preseason for wins? Someone's got to take that torch. I think right now the Raiders are currently ahead of the charts in terms of the most consecutive preseason wins that's active. But there was a penalty on the play. Let's see, they say defensive, too many men on the field right there. And that's the kind of stuff you want to definitely clean up and make sure that stuff does not happen in the regular season, especially the way that this team's been looking. You don't want mistakes like that to help an offense out. So now we're looking at 3rd and short. Because of that, we're looking at 3rd and 1. That's why it's taking the 4, and they give it to the back. And he picks up a couple of yards on the play, about 3 yards on the carry. As Michael says, you rated the Browns as the worst NFL logo. Why am I not surprised about that? You say we were being nice, and so I understand that. All right, 3rd and 1, Heineke. The pocket's collapsing, but he's still moving. Sets his feet, throws it, and it's incomplete. Closest man to it was a defensive back. And so right now, Heineke is, and the offense is struggling here to move the ball against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. It's going to bring up 4th down. Never a good sign when you've got linemen falling down and then reaching out, just trying to grab somebody. Under 7 minutes left to go here in the first. Carmichael says, let's go. All right, so Atlanta looking to punt the ball again. Heineke has not had a completion yet, despite the fact the Falcons have had 2 drives. Catches it from his own 11. He's at the 20. Brought down at about the 24-yard line. And so Pittsburgh looking to take over. And let's see if the offense can go 3 for 3 out there for touchdowns. Carmichael says Falcons equals trash. No love for the Falcons, I see. And again, we are currently right now at the commercial. Yeah, currently right now at the commercial. And so far for Pittsburgh, again, on that first drive, you had George Pickens. He had a 35-yard catch, which was almost like very close to the end zone and stuff like that. Dante Johnson, he had a big catch, 33 yards. Najee Harris, he even had a catch, 16 yards on the screenplay. And Allen Robinson had a catch for 2 yards as well. Carmichael says Bajan is going to have one good year and then vanish. Ouch. 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 Is it that you just don't like Bijan Robinson, or you just feel that he's just overrated? How does that work out for you? And again, the first drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers was an 8-play, 92-yard drive that only took 4 minutes and 4 seconds. A couple big plays on that drive. And then last time out there was 3 plays, 29 yards, and a touchdown. Again, both drives ended in touchdowns. And we're still in the first quarter with 6 minutes and 46 seconds to go right now. All right, Carmichael says Bijan is overrated. You will not be drafting him in fantasy. And so Carmichael has made a statement. He said he will not draft Bijan Robinson, even if Bijan Robinson fell to the last round of the draft. Carmichael has assured us that he will not draft Bijan Robinson. Or should I say Bijan Robinson? And so in the zone, what's good with you? What's good with you? How are you? All right, they got Mitchell Trubisky in the game now. He does a play fake and throws it to the tight end, Connor Haywood, who picks up 16 yards on the reception. So Mitchell Trubisky inserted, and the offense still looking to move the ball here. Again, first quarter with about 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Steelers up 14-0. And so Endizo, I know Endizo's ready for our fantasy football draft. I don't even have to ask him. I already know that he is ready for our fantasy football draft. Trubisky up under center, gives it to the back, and it's going to be Anthony McFarland, and he picks up 2 yards on the play off the left tackle. 2nd and 8 coming up from the Pittsburgh 43-yard line. Carmichael says, I will also not draft Cooper Kupp. What do you have against Cooper Kupp? Now, this one I find interesting. What do you have against Cooper Kupp? I love me some Cooper Kupp. I do love some Cooper Kupp. I'm not going to lie. I do love some Cooper Kupp. 2nd and 8. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Going to give it to the back, and the back gets to the outside. There's nobody to meet him. And right now, he takes it all the way to about the Atlanta 26-yard line. That's a pickup of 31 yards on the play. Anthony McFarland. Now, that's going to help your yards per carry right there. 2 carries, 33 yards. In Atlanta, honestly, their safety took a terrible position on that play right there, and he knows it. He's supposed to contain, but he dove too far in and left that outside. But it wasn't just him, though. I mean, but it's because corner got brought inside. I'm sorry, 36 is the corner right there, so that's on him. Like, you can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. You got to have that outside containment, force him back in. All right, they're going to toss it to the back again. Now he cuts up, but this time he is met by a defender, and yeah, that's going nowhere no time soon. Picks up 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 from the Atlanta 28-yard line. Let's see. Carmichael says, JB, do you know what pick I have in the draft? And so I do. I remember, like, I got the sheet, but I don't remember it off the top of my head where you're picking from. I think you're picking in the top 5. I think I remember that you picked in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember which number. I want to say it's either 3 or 4. One of those two, I think it is for you. All right, receiver goes in motion. Gives it to the back, and he has some space to work with here. Picks up 8 yards. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a back. That's a tight end right there. Connor Haywood, moving him around, getting carries, getting catches, doing it all. Let's see, Nazo says, good, can't complain. How are you doing, bro? So, hey, we're talking about a Thursday. I know the weekend coming up, the start, of college football, even though it's week 0, but still some college football, some meaningful games is going to count towards the regular season. We're ending preseason. I am doing pretty good. Let's see. And the Zoe says, Carmichael not winning if he in our league. Oh, yeah, he in our league. He's in our league. He is in our league. All right, we got a 2-yard carry here again by Connor Haywood. Let's see, Carmichael says, I'm also not drafting Derek Carr. And so, well, Carmichael, let's not forget, Carmichael, we've got, 14 people, which I know is not like, is it 16? Yeah, 16 people. I'm sorry, 16 people in our league. And remember how that worked out last year where everybody, even though we had 20 people last year, so that was different. But, man, just getting a decent quarterback was so hard with 20 people. So I had to reduce it to 16 this year. All right, 2nd and 8, out of the shotgun. It's a draw play. And Haywood takes it to the 10-yard line. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in the first. But in the zone, I know with you being a big Michigan fan in the zone, I have to say that Michigan team and stuff like that, how they're built and stuff like that, which obviously I'm just stating the obvious here, but that Michigan team, they are really built to where this should be the best Michigan team that we have seen since before I started watching football and stuff like that. Just looking at that team, like this should be the best team that Michigan has had since then. So I'm going to be looking to see how things play out this season and stuff like that. But I'm just stating the obvious. You guys know JB. I'm a passionate fan, but I'm a realistic fan as well. And so, Michigan's built this year. Like they are built this year. And by build, I mean a lot of returning guys that we already know what they can do. Like, we're not projecting here. This is a lot of returning talent. So, and on that play, Mitchell Trubisky introduced himself to the defensive end there. And so 4th down coming up. So Pittsburgh will opt for the field goal attempt. This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up. Kick is good. So tack on 3 more points here. That is Chris Boswell with the kick. All right, let's see. And the Zoe says, what spot I'm picking at? All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going to look at it real quick, and I'll let you know 1 second. I believe that you should be the 16th person, but let me just double-check that. I think you are pick number 16, if I remember correctly. All right, let me just double-check that real quick on my end. But yeah, we're currently at the commercial here, so not missing anything at all. But yeah, guys, I'm excited for this year's Fantasy Football League. All right, so here we go. Let me look and see the actual order of the draft. All right, so Carmichael, you are picking 4th, Carmichael, in our Fantasy League. You're picking 4th. Let's see. I'm sorry, Indizo. I confused you with the other new person on the thing. Yeah, so you're picking 2nd, Indizo. You're picking 2nd and stuff like that. I don't know how I forgot that, but yeah, you're picking 2nd, and Carmichael's picking 4th. So both of you guys have top 5 picks. And it is a snake format. So it's going to be reversed and stuff like that, each round. But that first round, yeah, Indizo's picking 2nd. and Carmichael's picking fourth. Let's see. In the zone, I have been hearing nothing but raving about Penn State. I've seen numerous YouTubers talk about how Penn State is going to go and basically beat you guys. And I'm thinking, I'm like, look, as an Ohio State fan, as much as I would love to hear that Penn State will do it, I'm like, I'm not seeing where this is coming from. Why now? Like, why this year when Michigan is as stacked as ever? Like, I'm not getting it. Like, catch them on a down year. But I don't know. They're really high on that Penn State team. That is one thing I'm hearing. Like, this is more hype than I have heard coming from their camp in quite some time. So, but hey, we love when expectations are high for the other team, and then we get to knock them back to reality. That's one thing we like, and I like the attention for the Big Ten also. I will say for the Big Ten, like, I know we have some new additions that will be joining the conference, but I do love the fact that our conference is getting so much attention. I just hope that it translates to championships this year, because it was very disappointing to have two teams in the Big Ten and not one get to the championship game, better yet win it. So we got to get some championships for the Big Ten overall. And so, yeah, Enzo, you are second in our fantasy league. So absolutely. The person who's picking before you is Old Man. He has the first pick. So, yeah, Old Man's first. You were second. So, absolutely. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great one. Carmichael says, I know we're going to lose, but don't rub it in. Hey, I appreciate the realistic fate right there. But, hey, that's what we love about college football. College football has a ton of surprises and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right about that though. Like, you're right. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons here from their own 25. Takes the snap. Quarterback throws it and gets the completion. That is Woodside there. So Woodside has been inserted into the game. Picked up 5 yards on the first pass. And yeah, I mean, Taylor Heineke, he was struggling out there. So let's go ahead and put in Logan Woodside and see what he can do. Give him some time to shine. Again, the Falcons trailing right now 17-0. We're still here in the first quarter with 55 seconds left to go. They're facing 2nd and 5. Got a fullback back in the backfield. Tight end going in motion. 2 receivers. Let's see what happens. And they're going to run the ball. And he's met by some defenders there. No gain on the play. That's Carlos Washington with the carry off the right guard. Listen, Carmichael says, we're at least going to be top 25. Oh, yeah. Penn State will be top 25, yeah. When it's all said and done, you guys will finish a top 20 team. I mean, honestly, outside of maybe 2 losses and all like that, I mean, I don't anticipate any more losses that I can think of for Penn State. So I do think that they'll finish in that, when it's all said and done, maybe even top 15, But that's as much as I can give you. That's about as much as I can give you. All right, but we are at the end of the first quarter here. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers up 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. And so Atlanta's got a lot of work to do if they're going to try to make this one. Again, they got to play a lot better than what they did before. Let's see, Carmichael says, Old Man better not draft a Patriots player at 1. Why not? Let this man draft who he want to draft. Let him draft who he wants to draft. Those of us like myself towards the back end of the draft, we would appreciate that. All right, but again, we are currently here at the commercial. All right, so let's take a look at how both teams are looking so far. We'll start off with the Atlanta Falcons. So for the Atlanta Falcons, Taylor Heineke started off the game, and he was 0 for 2. Like, Heineke did not get a single completion, didn't get a single yard to his name. If anything, he took a sack and lost 7 yards on that sack. So Heineke, but he didn't get much of an opportunity. So 0 for 2, and then they switched and put in Logan Woodside, who's got 1 completion since he came in for 5 yards. On the ground for the Atlanta Falcons as a team so far, 4 carries, 0 yards. Goodwin had 3 carries for 0 yards. Carlos Washington Jr., 1 carry, 0 yards. So not much, not anything. I don't know how else to put it. Nothing so far from the Atlanta offense here. But again, Atlanta did not start Desmond Ridder, so they did not put their, first team out there. So it is preseason there. That's to be expected. And the one reception they did get was Matthew Sexton. He had a catch for 5 yards, again, from Logan Woodside. Now, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they did start their starters. Kenny Pickett was 4 of 4 for 86 yards, and he completed 2 beautiful passes, both beyond 30 yards. One was to George Pickens on a catch for 35 yards. The other was to Dante Johnson, a 33-yard completion, and that drive ultimately resulted in a touchdown by Najee Harris, in which he ran it in there. Najee Harris on the day, 4 carries for 18 yards and that rushing touchdown, longest run of the night, 12 yards. Jaylen Warren also contributed 2 catches for 14 yards and a rushing touchdown as well, which he capped off that second drive with a rushing touchdown. Mitchell Trubisky so far, 1 completion, 16 yards here, and he's only thrown the ball 1 time, so 1 for 1. He's been sacked so far today. Speaking of sacks, TJ Watt, he got into the sack party early, guys. I'm talking about first play of the game. Part of why Desmond Ritter did not Desmond Ritter, Tyler Heineke did not get a chance to really get a completion is because TJ Watt immediately caught this man after a play fake there. So that's what happened so far in the first quarter. Again, Pittsburgh up 17-0. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons trying to make the second quarter their quarter. Let's see if that works out for them. Out of the shotgun formation. 5 seconds here to go. Takes the snap, throws it, gets the completion, and that's going to be to the 36-yard line. So it picked up 5 yards on the play. And again, that's John Fitzpatrick with the catch. All right, let's see. Carmichael says, I mean, fair is better for me if he drafts a Patriots player. Carmichael says, I'm still going to draft the quarterback high. And so, hey, feel free to. JB's got it. I've got my plan and stuff like that. So, obviously, you guys will dictate what I'm able to do since I'm so far in the back. But I'll be watching. You guys make a mistake, and I will make you pay. Let's see. Carmichael says, I don't think I'm going to draft Patrick Mahomes in the top 5, though. And so, I mean, that would be very early if you did. But I'm just saying, you know, I got a feeling that Patrick Mahomes, knowing the guys in our league, I think he will be drafted in the first round, but you never know. But a quarterback will go off the board in the first round. I'm pretty sure, knowing the people in my league, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. All right, so here we go. Shotgun, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Ball was tipped on the pass, incomplete. Woodside felt the rush coming. He was trying to throw it to Khalil Harris. Carmichael says, JB, tell me who you're targeting so I know. I will do no such thing. I will do no such thing because I have to watch out for Braden. Braden is drafting super close to me, and he controls the turn. That means after my pick, he'll have like 2 picks in a row. So I have to be very mindful of Braden throughout this entire draft. If he knows who I'm going for, he could really take that player. And they throw it to the tight end here out of the shotgun and gets the completion. And that's going to be about a 5-yard pickup there. But that is going to bring up a 4th down situation. So once again, the Atlanta offense stalls, and they will punt the ball. Again, we're here in the second quarter. Falcons trailing 17-0. All right, meanwhile, let me go ahead and put up the poll question here for today. All right, meanwhile, the punt is caught by Pittsburgh. Still moving, still on his feet, brought down at about the 22-yard line. That's where Pittsburgh will take over. All right, let's see. This should be a good poll question to put up there. Man, like I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for the NFL season, college football. It is a great time of the year. Does it come back and says, someone tried to fleece me in one of my other leagues yesterday? How so? How so? All right, so Carmichael's got his vote in. I know that was Carmichael. That thing came in too fast. I know it was you. Again, we are here in the second quarter of play with 12 minutes and 59 seconds to go. At Pittsburgh leading this one 17-0. They scored all 17 points in the first quarter. So I'm seeing around the league, a lot of teams are opting to play their starters. Buffalo is going to play their starters. The Bears are going to play their starters. So quite a few teams are opting here still for that third game to play their starters. I know Indianapolis, they're going to play Anthony Richardson, which that game should already be on, matter of fact. Let's see. Carmack says they wanted Lamar Jackson and Alexander Madison for just Dak Prescott. See, if there's one thing I don't like, it's disrespectful trade offers. I wish that there was a way where I could when people send me trades like that, I wish there was a way to block someone from sending me a trade or at least temporarily do it every time they send me a super bad request. Because at that point, you're just insulting me at that point, making a trade like that. Lamar Jackson and Alexander Madison for just Dak. Now, if it was Dak Prescott and Alexander Madison for Lamar Jackson, then at least I can understand why you sent a trade. But come on now. What are we doing? Really? What are we doing? They're trying to get you kicked out the league. All right, here goes Pittsburgh. Once again with the football. Multiple tight ends here. Gives it to the back. And that's going to be a pickup of 6 yards by Anthony McFarland. 2nd and 4 coming up. Ball at the Pittsburgh 30-yard line. But yeah, that's insane, Carmichael. That is insane. All right, pick. So now we've got quarterback up under center. Going to give it to the back. And he's going to pick up a yard in the play. Carmichael said you've done 7 drafts and 20 mock drafts. And so, oh man, I mean, I don't even know how many mock drafts I've done total, but if I had to guess, over the course of the last 3, maybe even 4 months, I've probably done more than 140 mock drafts if I had to guess. 3rd and 3. Gives it to the back. And he's going to take it to the 37-yard line and pick up the first down. Anthony McFarland again. He's got 6 carries and 48 yards so far on the game. So McFarland getting a lot of carries here. Look at the difference in total yards. 189 by the Steelers, 8 by the Falcons. Trubisky, bootlegging. Trubisky throws it. That's caught. Calvin Austin III. And he's going to take it to the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh. We're looking at 2nd and 2 after that 8-yard completion. All right, so 2nd and 2. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Gives it to the back, and he is going to be stuffed there by the D lineman. That's going to be a loss of a yard in the play. So good stop inside. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And this defense can certainly use a stop here. Every time Pittsburgh has gotten the ball, they've scored points. All right, here we go. 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun. Trubisky throws it short, gets the completion. And so that is going to be a first down. Picked up about 11 yards on the play. 9 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And that time, you just go ahead and run a screen. I like the way that they're using him on, like Connor Haywood here. I mean, screens, carries, moving him around. It is frustrating the heck right now out of the Falcons. Let's see, Carmichael says you might draft Kenny Pickett. I would not be surprised, and honestly, that would not be a bad move. It's all about if you can get Kenny Pickett at the right round to where you still can get other guys that are good and then get them at the right round. It's going to be 8. If you can make that happen, what better way than to root for your actual quarterback to help your fantasy team? So he scores, it helps your real team, helps your fantasy team. Hey, that works. All right, so right now we're looking at 1st and 15. I see we've got another vote that came in, one for the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. Gives the ball to the back and the back. Oh, man, a swarm of defenders around him here. Hayward's going to lose about 2 yards on the play. And so, Braden, what's good with you? How are you? So now we've got Braden here. But honestly, I really do feel like, as you mentioned, Carmichael, I could see a scenario where you end up with Kenny Pickett, where Braden ends up with Jordan Love. Because, I mean, getting your quarterbacks won't be that hard and stuff like that because everybody's going to be looking at last year. So it's possible. All right, so now, again, right now, Pittsburgh, still with the football. Every previous time that they've had a possession, they've scored points. First 2 times a touchdown, last time a field goal, and now we're facing 3rd and 10. Does Atlanta defense get a stop here, or does Pittsburgh keep this train moving? Shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the play. Pass rush around him. Mitchell on the move. Mitchell looking. Throws it up there, incomplete, out of bounds. But there is a penalty. There is a penalty. Braden says he's doing good. That's great. That's great. That is great. Ooh, and they're going to call holding against the defense here. Wow, Arthur Smith. I mean, why does he look like he could be a fill-in Luigi character or Mario character on the movie? But yeah, so that holding right there is going to gift them with a first down, and that's not what you want to do right now because you might just end up giving up some points again. And Atlanta's trying to pride themselves on defense. They spent a lot of money to improve that defense there, so they do not want to see their defense going out there and getting lit up like a Christmas tree. 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Tight end goes in motion. Gives it to the back. And the back's going to take it to the 39-yard line. Let's see. Braden says, I've only done 1 fantasy so far, and I have 3 quarterbacks because 1 got auto-drafted for me. Well, dang, anytime. And I personally do not want any auto-drafts at all. I cannot have it. I cannot waste a pick. Each pick is so valuable. I cannot have it happen. Carmichael says, you love penalties on the other team? Oh, I know. They're the best. Here we go. 2nd and 8. Gives it to the back, off the right guard, and he's get tackled after he picks up the yard on the play. 6 minutes and 32 seconds left to go here before the half. Again, Pittsburgh leading this one 17-0. Carmichael said you had an auto draft and got Lamar at quarterback. I wouldn't have done that. And so, I did wonder earlier when you said that, how did Lamar end up on your team? But now I have to ask you, I get auto drafts like maybe beyond halfway point of the draft, but how that early you get an auto draft like I'm guessing like first 3 rounds of the draft. How does that happen? Look at the difference in time of possessions. Pittsburgh's dominating that too. This has just been a dominant performance here by Pittsburgh once again. But Atlanta's bringing the blitz. Trubisky throws it, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. And that time the blitz was coming, but there is a penalty. Another penalty. Wow. And that's going to be defensive pass interference right there. Defensive pass interference. Yeah, this is not. A lot of guys going to be on the streets after this. As Michael says, I meant to draft, but I fell asleep 30 minutes before the draft. Okay, well, fall asleep 30 minutes before the draft. Okay, I got you. Well, just make sure that you get a lot of sleep here before our draft. The last thing you need is to fall asleep and then end up having one that you don't like. All right, here we go. First and goal. Tight end goes in motion. Gives it to the back, and the back is going to reach for the end zone. Did he get there? That's going to be looks like they're saying touchdown on the screen. Now, we'll look and check the replay again, but it looks like a touchdown here. And that's just an excellent job. I mean, McFarland's been running hard in this one. He's got 10 carries, 55 yards rushing, and now a rushing touchdown. And you look at that tremendous job. He did not touch the ground at all. He reached out and got a touchdown. All three of Pittsburgh touchdowns have came via 3 different running backs. All right, so we've got another vote here. 2 for the Bengals, 1 for the Steelers so far. You said whoever picked Bengals have a 50% chance of being right. All right, so now we're going to have the extra point attempt getting ready to take place. And the extra point is good. So we're looking at a 24-0 lead here by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, another dominating first half performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers in back-to-back preseason games here. They are ready for the regular season. As you come back, says JB, I'm going to go. I might be back on the stream later. So, all right, appreciate the heads up. As always, thank you for coming through. And if you happen to miss the rest of the stream, just remember, I will be back tomorrow as well. That's right. The stream's already set up here. We've got the Patriots and we've got the Titans. Matter of fact, JB went ahead and set up really the next, 7 streams and stuff like that. I pretty much went ahead and set those up. So, we're good. We are good. And just a reminder, JB will be streaming tomorrow. It's going to be the Patriots and the Tennessee Titans tomorrow. And so you guys already know, I'm going to be fully invested in watching my team. But we've got 5 minutes and 42 seconds still left to go here in the second quarter. And with Pittsburgh up 24-0 right now, we'll see once we get the kickoff what Atlanta does and can they get some points before the half. But so far, it's been all Pittsburgh so far today. Meanwhile, looking at the Indianapolis and Philly game, they're all tied up 7-7 right now. So I wonder how that game has been playing for them. I just want to take a quick look at how that game is going real quick for Indianapolis and Philadelphia since we're at the commercial right here. All right, so far for Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson, who did start today, he is 2 of 4 for 36 yards passing. He also had 1 carry for 6 yards as well. So that was Anthony Richardson so far today. Speaking of which, they show the highlight in which they got a pass interference call there. All right, now we've got kickoff on the way. All right, so no return. So let's see Atlanta down 24-0. Let's see what Atlanta can do. It'll be interesting to see how Anthony Richardson does this season. It'll be very interesting to see. Here we go. 1st and 10. Tight end goes in motion for the Atlanta Falcons. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Woodside gets the snap. Pittsburgh bringing pressure. Throws it over the middle. Gets the completion. And he takes it to Pittsburgh's side of the football field here. Picks up 26 yards. And now we're at the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. So 1 play, 26 yards. Can this be what we need to spark the offense here for the Atlanta Falcons? Now, he did a good job here of being alert and like covering up that ball, because if he was not paying attention, that backside defender could have came and ripped that ball out. But that was Harris with the catch. Now we've got shotgun again. 2 tight ends, bottom of the screen. Tight end goes in motion. 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Under 5 minutes to go in a second. They take the snap, and they're going to stop it right there because we got a false start penalty, and that is going to back up the offense 5 yards. So this offense cannot catch a break today. All right, here we go. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back. High snap, gets it, play fake. Woodside brought down on the sack. My goodness. I mean, wow. Roberts came in there, and he was like a missile shot out of a cannon. He just came in and disrupted that play from the very beginning. There wasn't much that Woodside could do on that one. That guy came in flying. So after that sack, we've got 2nd and 24 right now. Shotgun. Woodside gets the snap. Throws it. Gets the completion. And that's going to take it to about the 42-yard line here of Atlanta. So now we're looking at 3rd down coming up here. 3rd and long. 3rd and 19. And they're hurrying up here. They're hurrying up. They snap the ball. In the pocket, throws it behind the guy, incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down coming up. So Pittsburgh defense once again stops the Atlanta offense. Braden says this game is ugly. And so, Braden, sometimes it happens. Sometimes JB happens to pick a game, and the game gets a little out of hand. Now, we saw that in the championship game last year with TCU, in which that was insane. But yeah, this one right here is clearly looking bad. But it's good if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Braden says, see you, Carmichael. All right, so we've got the punt on the way. Fair catch symboled and caught from his own 12-yard line. So there is a penalty, though. There is a penalty. But with 3 minutes and 26 seconds left to go, we'll see if Pittsburgh can add to their lead again. Pittsburgh has been dominating the first half here. They scored 17 points in the first quarter. They've got 7 so far in this quarter, and they've got enough time to where they can add some more here on. Braden, when do you guys play your final preseason game? All right, so again, 4th and 24. Now we've got the punt unit lining up, both teams. Atlanta getting ready to punt the ball down 24-0 here in the second quarter, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Punt on the way. Catches it from his own 17. Trying to run a sideline before they push him out of bounds there, but still pick up some yards. Let's see, Brandon says on Saturday in the afternoon against the Seahawks. And so, ooh, the Seahawks. Okay. Saturday, I opted to pick one of the week 0 college football games. So I will be streaming the Ohio Bobcats versus San Diego State Aztecs. That's the game that I chose to stream. And so I did want to do the USC one, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that channel. So I chose to do Ohio versus San Diego State. So that'll be the first college football stream there for the season, week 0 again. I have streams lined up all the way through Sunday night, matter of fact. So I know it's been a while since I've streamed that many times in a row. And again, we're currently at the commercial here. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. And Pittsburgh is currently on a mission here to try to finish out this preseason strong. They've gotten off to a great start here in the first half. And they're going to look to try to continue to light it up. Brady says, okay. Tell me this, Braden, who is someone that you absolutely, no matter how things play out in our fantasy draft, which will be again, our fantasy draft is next week, Friday, but who is someone that you absolutely will not be drafting in your mind? Carmichael said that no matter what happened, he will not be drafting Bijan Robinson. And so, yeah, he says he will not be drafting Bijan Robinson by any means. All right, so here we go. Pittsburgh back out there offensively. Going to give it to the running back, and the running back is going to pick up about 3 yards on the play off the left tackle. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7. And that was Greg Bell on the carry. Picked up 3 yards on the play. Ball at Pittsburgh 32-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go before the half. All right, out of the shotgun, tight end goes in motion. Gonna dump it down short. It's caught by the back, and he picks up about a couple yards on the play. So now we're gonna be looking at 3rd and 5. Let's see, Brandon says, I saw you're streaming next week on Utah, Florida game too. And so, yeah, Utah, Florida. I'm looking forward to that. And also the TCU versus Colorado game. I'll be streaming that one also. Pass on the play completed. He shakes off the defender, did not touch down, but he picked up the first down, and that's huge right there. As a defensive back, you got to make that tackle there. You don't want stuff like that to happen. Let's see, Braden says, probably anyone that's on the Cardinals, LOL. Anyone on the Cardinals, huh? Okay, bet. I'm trying to think for myself, who is someone that no matter what, I will not be drafting personally. I am trying to think who fits the bill as someone that I just do not believe in, no matter what. I got to think about that for a second. I am trying to think who is that person that I just do not believe in at all. I'll put it this way. I'm not saying I wouldn't take him for the right price, but I'm going to do my best to make sure it doesn't end up being that way. And that's Deshaun Watson to me. I mean, I'm just scared of if he goes out there like he did last year. And so I see the potential, but I'm afraid of the risk. And guys like that, I'm afraid of the risk. So guys like him, Cam Akers, it'd have to be the right round. It'd have to be the right round. He burnt so many people last year, but I know it's a new year. But guys like that, you say, oh, you'll be watching that TCU and Colorado game? And so, yeah, absolutely. Same here. It's a good opportunity for TCU to get back in the, positive light. And obviously Colorado coming to town is going to bring a lot of attention with Coach Prime. And, hey, if Colorado can go out there and take it, which that game should be possibly up for grabs, that'll be one heck of a statement. That game right there will let me know everything I need to know about where Colorado is currently right now as a program. The TCU did lose a lot of their firepower, I will say that. But they're still a solid team. And I'll try to get to the point also, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'll try to get to the point where I do some type of maybe an hour long or maybe 2 hour long live stream, possibly maybe Fridays, since I'll be streaming on Saturday, so maybe I'll do it on Fridays where I do my weekly pick'ems and stuff like that in terms of who's going to win each week and stuff like that, so that way we can keep track of it, not just for myself, but also anybody that's interested in just keeping track on how we just do, in terms of everybody picking, who's going to win, who's going to lose. An extra element to add, to the stream. So I may start doing that as well. All right, so getting back to the action here, Pittsburgh with the football, out of the shotgun, throws it, and that's going to be, looks like an incompletion. A minute 49 left to go here before the half. Boykins was the intended receiver, Miles Boykins, incomplete. Yeah, that time the ball just bit him on the hands, and that's not something you want to see happen. 2nd and 10. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Trubisky on the move. Trubisky's going to scramble. Trubisky still scrambling before he slides at about the 34-yard line of Atlanta. Braden says Colorado's schedule is tough to begin the season. They have to play Oregon, USC the first month. So, yeah, that's typically where you go out there, and they're going to get hit. They're going to get hit in the mouth, but that second half of the schedule is where you're going to really see that chemistry. And just having those tough games already played, towards the end, they'll end on a good note, and that's always good for, recruiting, that they see that you end on a positive note. I'd rather start off bad and end strong than to start off strong and end bad. So, I'd rather just do good all the way, but in a situation like that where you're building a culture. And plus, I feel like having big games early in the schedule gets your team extremely focused because they know right off the gate they got to come out swinging. So everybody's going to be fighting that much more harder in practice and stuff like that. They're already motivated. They know USC. They know Oregon. They know those guys, TCU. They want to be those guys. So, oh yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. All right, here we go. Shotgun, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Trubisky taking a deep shot. Incomplete. Going to bring up second down. Again, right now at the Atlanta 34-yard line. Pittsburgh leading 24-0. Here in the second quarter, we got a minute 38 seconds left. I'm sorry, a minute 32 seconds left to go here for the half. All right, let's see. We've got second and 10. Throws it short. Bobble caught and pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. All right, so we've got 3rd and 8 coming up. Again, a minute 27 seconds left to go here before we reach halftime. And Pittsburgh up 24-0, but they want more. Trips at the bottom of the formation, one receiver at the top of the screen. Gets the snap. And Trubisky standing in the pocket, but he held it too long. I don't know how much time he thought he had, but he didn't have that long. And he gets brought down for a sack. And that was Jones in there on the sack. And we got a timeout call by Atlanta. So they're still thinking about the clock. Atlanta does not want to go into halftime with 0 points. They want to get something here before the half. And that's a good sign to have your defense finally go out there and get the sack. You said that would be fun? Oh, yeah. But yes, I cannot believe the fantasy draft is this close. It's going to happen here. And I got to make sure that I remind everybody, so everybody understands the draft is going to be next week, Friday. So literally a week and a day from now. Insane. All right, so he catches the punt inside the 3. So everything that could go right is going right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with a minute 13 left to go here in a second. All right, gets the carry. Picks up about 4 yards in the play. That takes it to about the 10-yard line. We got 3rd and 3. Takes the snap, throws it, gets the completion, still on his feet to about the 24-yard line. That's going to be a first down. And Atlanta's going to burn a timeout here. They've got 1 timeout remaining in 18 seconds to see if they can try to get some points here as they trail 24-0. All right, so 1st and 10 here for the Atlanta Falcons, trying to make something happen with just 18 seconds. Ball at their own 24-yard line. Gets the snap, throws it before he gets hit by the defender, and that's going to be incomplete there. He could not step into it. He got hit, and Woodside is getting up kind of slow there, but he's up now. Again, he took a hit on that play, and the ball suffered because of it. You look at that replay, and number 40 got him and got him good on that one, so that's incomplete. Second and 10. Throws it, and that's going to be incomplete. Let's see, Brandon says, you watched the Florida Gators documentary. How did you enjoy that? Meanwhile, we've got another penalty called here on the play with just 9 seconds remaining here before the half. So let's see what the referees are going to call here. All right, so they're going to call that one against Pittsburgh, so a pass interference there. Okay. That'll help get the offensive first down. Yeah, you look at that play, he was all over him there, so a good call. All right, out of the shotgun here. Throws it. Incomplete, but what a hit. What a hit. I mean, 17 hit him there. 17 hit him there. All right, got another vote here for the Bengals. Let's see, Braden says, it was pretty good. They did leave some stuff out though, and so gotcha. Way to separate the receiver from the ball on that play. Receiver tried to go up there and get it, but a guy like that chasing you, yeah, that's going to be tough. So we got 4 seconds here before the half. Quarterback up under center, and they're going to opt to go ahead and just run this ball, go to halftime, trailing 24-0 right now at the half. That was Washington on the carry. So now we are officially here at halftime. And looking at how the game is played so far, I mean, Pittsburgh did everything that they went out to accomplish in the first half. They achieved as a team, as a unit. Kenny Pickett, he was 4-4, had 86 yards passing, 2 beautiful passes, one to Dante Johnson, the other one to Kenny Pickett. Both of those receptions over 30 yards on the opening drive, in which they capped it off with a Najee Harris rushing touchdown. Following drive was capped off by Jaylen Warren finishing in the end zone. Najee Harris had 4 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. Jaylen Warren, 2 carries, 14 yards, and a touchdown as well for Pittsburgh. But Anthony McFarland has been getting the bulk of the workload for Pittsburgh so far tonight. 10 carries, 55 yards, and also a rushing touchdown. His longest run of the night, 31 yards. Connor Haywood, he's got 4 carries for 11 yards in this one as well. He's also got 2 catches for 27 yards also, so they're using him a numerous amount of ways. Braden says, they did show in Florida beat Ohio State, though, and so, Braden, there's no need to mention that at all. JB has put that beside him, that there's no need to bring that up, you know. It happened. It happened. Now, Mitchell Trubisky, he is 7 of 9 passing for 54 yards through the air. Again, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. For the Atlanta Falcons, Logan Woodside, he's been making most of the passes. He's 7 of 11 for 66 yards passing. Taylor Heineke was 0 for 2 out there. You heard me right, 0 for 2 out there today for the Atlanta Falcons. So not a single completion to his name today, and he was not out there very long. On the ground for the Falcons, Carlos Washington Jr., 4 carries for 5 yards. And Godwin, he got 3 carries for 0 yards. So the Atlanta Falcons, only 5 yards rushing. Imagine if this is the regular season and they only have 5 yards rushing at halftime. We would be freaking out, especially if you took somebody from the Atlanta Falcons to the fantasy football. You probably took one of their running backs, you know, and you would be very furious to know that they just have 5 yards rushing so far in the first half. The Pittsburgh defense has been dominating. Even T.J. Watt went out there and got himself a sack out there early. So Pittsburgh not playing around today in the first half. We'll see what the second half brings, but, man, it's been all Pittsburgh so far in the first half. Calvin Austin III, he's been contributing as a receiver and also as a kick returner in this one as well. So worth noting, he's got 4 kick returns for 53 yards so far today. So he's been getting it done, especially on special teams. But again, we are currently right now at the commercial. And let's take a quick look while we have some time at how the Indianapolis and Philadelphia game is playing out for them. All right, so looking at the Indianapolis and Philly game, that game right now currently in the second quarter with about 13 minutes, 31 seconds to go. Again, Indianapolis leading that one right now, 14-0. And looking at the numbers, Anthony Richardson, 4 of 7 for 55 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He's also got 2 carries for 22 yards. Speaking of carries for Indianapolis, Evan Hull, he's got 6 carries, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Deion Jackson, 4 carries for 8 yards and a rushing touchdown as well. For Philadelphia, Marcus Mariota, 1 of 2 passing for 21 yards. His night's done. Tanner McKee, he's 3 of 6 for 29 yards passing today. No touchdowns, no interceptions. On the ground, Trey Sermon, 9 carries, 14 yards, and a rushing touchdown. And Tanner McKee also had a run for 5 yards also in that game. So that game a bit more competitive so far in that first half of that game there, with Indianapolis leading 14-10. Again, Indianapolis playing their starting quarterback. Eagles did not play their starting quarterback. Braden says just started watching the Eagles, the Colts and Eagles game. How it feels when you pick a stream that does not work out. Because the score just ends up being so one-sided. It's terrible. But I know that I did stream Indianapolis the past week, so I was like, I did not stream Atlanta or Pittsburgh prior, so trying to get a couple teams in here. Let's see. Braden says you can't help that, and so, oh yeah. There's no way I was going to know that Atlanta's going to come out like this. But I guess the signs were there, right? I mean, we saw what Pittsburgh did to Buffalo. That was pretty telling right there. So Pittsburgh not playing around here in the preseason. But I'm excited for tomorrow. Get to see my Patriots there going against Tennessee, which means I'll have to take a look at Hopkins and the Tennessee Titans jersey and stuff like that. But it is what it is. And again, we are currently at halftime right now, just awaiting the second half to start. Pittsburgh 2-0 in preseason play so far, trying to make it 3-0 and off to a great start. Meanwhile, Atlanta, 1 win and a tie so far. Brandon says, will he be on the sideline in the Titans jersey? LOL. Yeah, I sort of realized that. But all I can say is he made the wrong decision. He made the wrong decision. But if someone wants to make the wrong decision, we gotta let him. Gotta let him. Not that I can blame him though. Not that I can blame him though. Follow the money. I seen that Jerry Judy got injured and they had to cart him off. So hopefully he'll be okay. Because I know that I believe Tim Patrick's out for the season. So if Jerry Judy can't go for any time during the regular season, especially significant time, that will really put a strain on the Broncos offense, a team that really is trying to bounce back from last year. Braden says, I actually agree with you on that, JB. And so, oh, wow. Wow. That means a lot right there, Braden. That means a lot. That actually means a lot. So, Black Medicine, what's good with ya? And you say Falcons getting plucked like an Iowa football team? Ouch, ouch, ouch. You know what? I mean, I'm seeing some similarities out there, now that you mention it. Braden says, shaking his head. Braden cannot believe it. He's like, the shots that are being fired today. He said, it makes no sense. But yeah, 24-0 right now. Pittsburgh just having their will. I mean, just taking them out back and just putting them out of their misery at this point. But we are at the half. Again, Taylor Heineke, 0 yards passing when he started. And so it's all been Whiteside for Atlanta, 7 of 11 for 66 yards passing. I believe that they have 5 yards total on the ground. So they got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. Black says, no offense today, no offense any day. Suck guys. Let's see. Braden says, I guess Michael Pittman got injured, but it looks like he's okay. And so we're glad to hear that he's okay. How did he get hurt? Was it like a lower leg injury, or how did he get hurt? And hate to see that. Indianapolis certainly needs to have Michael Pittman out there, as he is their number one. They got a couple of young guys, but everybody's young, so they need Pittman. Let's see. Braden says, I think that one was directed at both of us, JB, and so I seen it, but You know, it is what it is. We're pretty comfortable with our offense. It's been our defense that has let us down lately. Let's see, Black says Indianapolis is playing tonight. Yeah, they're playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that game is on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the Colts and Eagles, in which Anthony Richardson did get to start today. And so far, looking at his numbers, Anthony Richardson, looking real quick to find his numbers. Yeah, so Anthony Richardson so far, he's 4 of 7 for 55 yards passing through the air. He's also got 2 carries for 22 yards. They're still in the second quarter with under 10 minutes to go. But our game is now back on the way with kickoff and Atlanta returning it all the way to the 20-yard line. So we'll see if Atlanta can get some points here in the second half of this one and try to make this one a bit more competitive. And so, old man, what's good with you? What's good with you? How are you doing? And so I am doing pretty good here. Nothing like having some football, knowing that the weekend is soon amongst us. So I am doing pretty good. Like says good, let it stay there. Keep it on prime. Let's see. Oh, it says Pat needs to call Cardinals about Kevin Beecham. Yeah, I saw you said that on Twitter. You said they might move on from him and he would be a band-aid of a right tackle for the year. And so, yeah, they have a going out of business sale going down there in Arizona. Meanwhile, quick pass by Whiteside. Whiteside takes it all the way to about the 27-yard line of the Falcons there at that catch. And that's Josh Ali with the catch. His first catch of the game for 8 yards. 2nd and 2 coming up. Let's see. O says trying to get stuff done so I can get to the setting. And so bet. You missed it earlier, but yeah, everybody's talking about, they're getting ready for our fantasy football draft and stuff like that. So hope you guys are ready. It's going to be here next week, Friday. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, so they give the ball to the back on the carry, and that's going to be Godwin, and he's going to pick up 4 yards on the carry. That's going to bring his total to a total of 4 yards for the night, 4 carries for 4 yards. And a first down. So now we got 1st and 10 for Atlanta from their own 31-yard line. Braden says the Patriots should call about a lot of players in the Cardinals, LOL. And so, Braden, that was highly unnecessary, Braden. Highly unnecessary. All right, from their own 31-yard line. Oh, look at that sack. Before he could even look for his second read right there. That was Herbig, and Nick Herbig with the tackle there. I believe that's a linebacker from Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. All right, here we go. Tight end going in motion. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Quarterback scrambling, and then he slides there. See how many yards he pick up there. They say 6 yards on the play. So enough to remove the yards that he lost prior to the sack. So now we've got 3rd and 10 coming up for the Falcons from their own 31-yard line here. Again, opening drive of the 3rd quarter with Pittsburgh winning 24-0. Let's see. Old says, yeah, and then I got one with my brother for 50 and wish me luck. And yes, first pick. And so, hey, well, best of luck with that one. Meanwhile, play fake, pass over the middle. And that's going to be completed by the Atlanta Falcons there. And that's Matthew Sexton with the catch, his 2nd catch of the game. So far, he's got 2 catches for 18 yards. Braden claims that he was being nice. But we'll see about that. Meanwhile, we've got 5 votes so far for the poll, and right now 4 out of 5 are saying the Cincinnati Bengals will win that division. Oh, it says, nah, Braden Wright. Caught him about Baker. Let's see, Baker, Marquise Brown, or Ronald Moore. Hey, I would like to have more. I would love to have more. Or Brown, especially more. makes the pass, and that's going to be a catch, a contested catch, but a catch for 9 yards on the play. He went up there. He went up there. Now, he is hobbling off the field there, so hopefully he'll be okay. But he went up there, made that catch, held on to it, sacrificed the body for that catch. And so, yeah, quite a few players to go after. Let's see, Brandon says, CJB, I was being nice. But I remember what you said earlier, Braden. You said the only players that you don't want to draft are players on the Arizona Cardinals, basically saying you think the Cardinals have a terrible roster. So for you to imply that you want us to make a deal with the Cardinals says a lot about how you think about us, Braden. So it may be on the surface a compliment, but that's one of those backhanded compliments that I know what you were saying, Braden. I know exactly what you meant. JV's not letting it slide. Meanwhile, Falcons throw another completion. This so far, the Falcons' longest drive so far of the game, their best drive so far of the game, irregardless of how this plays out. Let's see, Brady says Madden, Buddha, Baker, and Baker, and so now that would be great. I mean, is it a need? Not necessarily, but it would be great. Again, third quarter here with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Falcons trying to find some points here, but they're moving the ball. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Takes the snap, comes to the back, up the middle, and he's going to pick up a yard. That's Carlos Washington with the carry. He's got 5 carries for 6 yards today. Old says, I'm shocked Belichick didn't take a shot on Simmons. I thought he would have at least tried for him because we know Bill Belichick loves about players who can with multiple spots. And so that is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. And so, but I guess you can't make it to every bargain deal, right? But that would have been one heck of a deal, though. I would have been stoked about that. I would have been. Let's see. Brady says Anthony Richardson just made a really nice play. Was it passing or running? Meanwhile, the completion there to the back, but there is going to be, it looks like a penalty was thrown. Yep, a penalty was thrown. So let's see what they're going to call. You say, but it looks like the pass was incomplete, though. All right, so here we go. Falcons are right now currently at the 11-yard line. Throws it with pressure around him, incomplete. Pressure was all around his feet on that one, incomplete. Brady says a pass. He said he somehow got out of a sack and got rid of the ball. And so I can see that with the size that he possessed and the strength, I could see that happening. All right, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 back. Takes the snap, gives it to the back, and the back lost the ball. He lost the ball. He fumbled the ball. I didn't even see it happen on the replay. He fumbled the ball. Wow. Black says the Cows are winning fantasy this season. But wow, Atlanta fumbled the football and turned the ball over. That was Carlos Washington on the carry. He picked up 3 yards before fumbling the ball, and that was Robinson that knocked the ball out. And so now we're going to hit the commercial, but when we come back, it's Pittsburgh football, and they're already up 24-0. So that drive that they had, that was about 12 plays, 73 yards, about 6 minutes to turn the time off the clock, all of that for nothing because they turned the ball over. Ouch. Let's see. O says Falcons doing Falcon things. Black says turn off the TV, JB. Go to the prime game. We will do no such thing. JB sat there and watched TCU got slaughtered out there multiple times. It was the most horrendous thing I had ever seen. But we stood right here and stood firm, and we watched it all. Now, true at the expense of TCU with all the jokes, but still, we stood firm. So we will do the same thing here and provide the same courtesy for the Atlanta Falcons here today. But this is bad. If you're a Falcon fan, the only thing I'd be saying is that it's preseason. It's preseason. It's preseason. That's the only thing I'd be saying right now is that it's preseason. Again, at the commercial here. And again, so far in this game for the Atlanta Falcons, Logan Whiteside, 13 of 18 for 119 yards. Let's see, Braden says, yes, you did, JB. And so that's right. We stood firm and sat through that game in which it was bad. That's the one time that a power outage would have seemed like a miracle and all like that for any TCU fan that had to sit through that. I mean, imagine that, waiting your whole life for that team to get to the championship. Y'all even brought LaDainian Tomlinson out there. Y'all embarrassed him. He went out there in that outfit he should not have been wearing and stuff like that. And y'all made him look like foolish out there because y'all just, I mean, they just look terrible. They look terrible. So hopefully we see a better performance against Colorado out there. Otherwise, they may get put on JB's ban list and turn the team to stream. Like I said, we had to live through the TCU disaster, and we don't need a repeat. That is true. All right, meanwhile, let's see Pittsburgh on the carry. Running back picks up 7 yards on the play, so now we've got 2nd and 3 right now from the Pittsburgh 15-yard line. That is Valladay on the carry. His first carry of the game. Holmes says, yeah, that was horrible. Let's see, Brandon says, look, JB was still watching Super Bowl 51 even though the Falcons were up 28-3, and look what happened. And so, a direct shot at Black. I can't take it. I can't take it, but yet, JB, you're right. You're right. I had to give it to the back here. He picks up a yard on the play. So now it's going to make it 3rd and 2 coming up from Pittsburgh's 16-yard line. Ouch, so Braden casting a shot here. All right, so 3rd and 2. Again, this is Mason Rudolph that's in there at quarterback for Pittsburgh. Looking to make the pass. Yet scramble, gets away from the defender and does enough to pick up the first down. Picked up a couple yards on that scramble. Again, defense was all around him, but he made it do what it do. All right, so here we go. Fresh new set of downs to work with. 8 seconds right now on the play clock. 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh up 24-0 with the football. Takes the snap. And gonna pick up about 5 yards on the play. And so that was Valladay's 3rd carry of the game. Picked up, had a total of 13 yards rushing today. All right, here we go, 2nd and 5. Gives it to the back. And he's going to take it to about the 30-yard line. Let's see. O says, if rumors are true, Dolphins called about Jacobs and Josh told them he's not available and that the Colts have turned down an offer from the Dolphins for JT. And so if that's the case, then I did mention the Dolphins as an aggressive suitor, but I really feel like the Rams should end up with at least one of those running backs because they desperately need a running back like that, particularly if they can get Jonathan Taylor. I think that would be a good move. All right, here we go. Mason Rudolph takes a snap, play fake, bootlegging, throws it short, gets the completion, makes the first guy miss, brought down, all of that for a pick up of 5 yards by Mr. Rodney Williams at tight end, number 87 for Pittsburgh. Now we got 2nd and 5 right now from the Steelers' 35-yard line. All right, 2 tight ends, receiver back in the backfield, gives it to the back, and he's going to pick up a yard on the play, and now we've got 3rd and 4 coming up. Again, under 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh up still 24-0. And I do feel like Miami would. I feel like the rumors are true because I think the Dolphins feel like if they had one more piece like that would really give them an edge in the division. So they would love to do that. But the problem is they're not going to be able to pay a running back like that. So, all right, pass there to the slot receiver. That's incomplete. Let's see, no penalty on the play. So that means 4th down is going to come up. So Atlanta's defense, they do get a stop here. Is that the first stop tonight for Atlanta's defense? Punt's on the way. He's going to return it. He's at the 10. Ooh, was that a face mask or what? I guess not. Well, Atlanta's going to take over from their own 14-yard line, down 24-0 here in the 3rd quarter with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. And yeah, for guys that are fighting for a roster spot here, they have to show a little bit more heart here, especially the offense. So people are saying the Cardinals might try to trade Murray in the offseason. In your opinion, JB, who's a team that would trade for him and give up? Who's a team that would trade for Kyler Murray? Black, you might want to cover your ears. If Desmond Ridder does not turn out to be who the Atlanta Falcons are hoping, not that I think they have high expectations, but who he needs to be for this team, then Kyler Murray will end up an Atlanta Falcon next year. I do believe that Atlanta tried to inquire about Ryan Tannehill, who is an option. Ryan Tannehill, but if not him, Kyler Murray, if made available, I think would end up being with the Atlanta Falcons because I think the Falcons did have some interest in Kyler Murray potentially. So I think Atlanta is the only place that I see Kyler Murray would end up potentially at with the Atlanta Falcons. In terms of what they would give up, well, unfortunately, the price for a quarterback, we've seen teams give up a lot for guys like Carson Wentz. So I could see that end up just being a 1st-round pick and calling it a day. Nothing more because you're taking on that contract that he's going to bring with him and stuff like that he clearly does not deserve. I shouldn't say doesn't deserve, but, hasn't played up to and stuff like that. So I can see that just being, look, just one 1st-round pick, just call it a day. And so the Atlanta Falcons is who I think Kyler Murray would end up with if Desmond Ridder doesn't perform at a high level after this year. That's one team. If I had to dig deeper than that, I mean, if Jimmy Garoppolo plays terrible, does it make sense for the Raiders? Atlanta's first on the list by a long shot. Atlanta. But you guys let me know, when it comes to, Kyler Murray, if he did get traded after the season, a team that you think might be interested. I mean, could the Minnesota Vikings, if they move on from Kirk Cousins, be a possibility? Obviously, we don't know it's a year out, but I would think Atlanta would be a team that would be in play if Desmond Ritter doesn't work out. All right, so here we go. Shotgun. You've got 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Again, third quarter, 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. Pittsburgh sends 4. What side? He's moving. He throws it, gets the completion, and the receiver gets knocked down, but not after picking up 19 yards on the deep pass over the middle. And that was a great play to Harris. Braden says, I was just thinking of the Vikings, LOL, and I hate it. I have no idea what the Vikings are going to want there because I feel like Kirk Cousins has done a good job. I get it, he hasn't won on the big stage, but I feel like Kirk has done a good job, really. So if you go and get another quarterback, you're risking bringing in someone that might ruin the foundation further, but we'll have to see. You got to shake things up, I guess, in order to get better results. All right, so they're going to stop the play here because there's a false start penalty against the Atlanta Falcons here, and this time it's the center, Michael Minnick. Let's see. O says, I think Vikings because of how many times will Kirk Cousins have his chant before the owner and fans turn their back on him. And so, oh yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Let's see. O says, I think Seahawks should trade for Trey Lance. Let him sit behind Gino for 2 years, but I don't think 49ers would trade him to the Seahawks. Honestly, O, I think the 49ers would trade him to the Seahawks. I think the 49ers, they just feel really bad about the whole debacle that he turned out for, that they couldn't support him. So they just want to put him in the best situation to succeed. I think they really do like him, his personality, and they're just sad that he took that third string spot there. They wanted him to succeed, but they couldn't make it happen. So, I mean, if they felt that that's best for him personally, I think they would just take what they can get and at least consider it. If a better offer or another offer that was similar arose, then they would do that. But I think that it wouldn't necessarily mean it's off the table. They would have to pay more for him. I don't know if they would do that, but it would at least be on the table, I still think. Braden says, resign Kirk Vikings, please. All right, from their own 30-yard line, Woodside takes a snap, play fake, looking, feels the rush, flings it forward, gets the completion to the tight end, and the tight end is going to pick up some yards on the play there. Let's see how many yards they count that as. I mean, at that point, he just flinged it. Falcons punt the ball. And Fair catches it from his own 21-yard line here in the third quarter with a minute 31 seconds to go. All right, let's see. O says, I've heard from multiple people that the Vikings could trade for Trey Lance. That's his hometown. I have heard that too. And I mean, personally, I get it, but at the same time, you mean to tell me you're not happy with Kirk Cousins and you would bring in a guy like Trey Lance, even if you don't start him, you're bringing him in for the intrigue that if his name is called, he would have to play. I'm like, are you really that dissatisfied with Kirk Cousins, really? And so I guess it's a possibility. Let's see. You say people say 49ers did Trey dirty. They could do me dirty like that, like they did him. I'll take close to 30 mil for doing nothing. And so, hey, you're right about that. You're right about that. Absolutely. And I mean, they put him against Sam Darnold. I mean, you couldn't beat out Sam Darnold for that spot. I mean, we saw Sam Darnold lose to so many people. You couldn't beat him out. So that was just, yeah, insane, insane. Absolutely insane. And again, we are at the commercial here. 24-0 is our score. Steelers up in this one here in the third quarter with a minute 31 seconds left to go. And even though there's still a whole quarter left to go, barring something drastically different, this game just feels like it's already a wrap and we're just trying to get to the time at this point. But there's still plenty of guys fighting for spots, so this means a lot for them irregardless. Let's see. All right, so here we go. Quarterback up under center from his own 22-yard line. Receiver goes in motion. Takes a snap, gives it to the back for the Steelers. Runs up the middle, picks up 4 yards. This is Darius Higgins with the carry here for Pittsburgh off the left guard. 2nd and 6 coming up from the Pittsburgh 26-yard line. All right, takes a snap, gives it to the back off the left side, trying to get to the outside. Stumbles out of bounds there, but picks up 5 yards in the process. All right, so here we go, shotgun. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. They give it to the back. Still fighting forward. That progress is stopped by the Falcons defense. All right, so they're bringing out the measuring sticks here. All right, so that's going to take us to the commercial here, because again, it was the end of the third quarter. so far. And so just to recap how everybody's looking so far. So passing wise, we'll start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, Kenny Pickett on the day, 4 of 4 for 86 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Mitchell Trubisky was 7 of 9 for 54 yards through the air, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Mason Rudolph, 1 of 2 so far for 5 yards through the air. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, Taylor Heineke was 0 for 2, so no yards passing. Logan Whiteside, 16 of 22 for 145 yards through the air for the Atlanta Falcons so far today, and still a busy workload ahead of him. Now, rushing-wise, as a team, the Pittsburgh Steelers have 32 carries for 161 yards on the ground. The Falcons have 11 carries for 19 yards on the ground. Pittsburgh's leading rusher is Anthony McFarland Jr. He's got 10 carries for 55 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown. Now, Mitchell Trubisky had a scramble for 24 yards. Valladay, he's got 5 carries for 22 yards. Najee Harris, he had 4 carries for 18 yards, including a rushing touchdown. Jalen Warren also had a rushing touchdown. He had 2 carries for 14 yards as well. Connor Haywood, 4 carries, 11 yards. Darius Higgins, 3 carries, 9 yards. Calvin Austin III, a carry, 3 yards. Greg Bell, a carry, 3 yards. And Mason Rudolph had a carry for 2 yards as well. Now for the Atlanta Falcons, Carlos Washington Jr., he is their leading ball carrier in this one. He's got 6 carries for 9 yards. Logan Whiteside, he had a run for 6 yards. And then Godwin, he had 4 carries for 4 yards also. All right, so here we go. 4th and short. Did he get it? Did he get the first down? All right, so Mason Rudolph there picked up a yard on the carry. Quarterback keeper. I should say quarterback sneak. All right, so a fresh new set of downs to work with here for Pittsburgh. And again, they're up 24-0, but Pittsburgh wants the shutout. They want the shutout. That's what they're eyeing here today. They've got a whole quarter to work here. Let's see what they do. Goes it short to the back. Trying to get out of there. Fails to succeed in that. Excellent defense there by the Falcons. It's going to be a loss of 5 yards on that completion. Takes a snap. Gonna throw it deep. Incomplete. Just too far ahead of the receiver there. Incomplete. Let's see. Oh, it says Falcons can't do nothing. And so it just hasn't been their night, honestly. It just has not been their night. But Pittsburgh did do this to Buffalo. Here we go. 3rd and 15. Rudolph. Oh, man, he grabbed him by the face mask. We're looking at a free play here. And it won't even matter. He still picked up the first down. It won't even matter. Wow. Mm-hmm. So you've got the penalty there, you've got the catch. I mean, wow. Braden says, gotta go. He says he can't stand to watch another second of this, y'all. He gotta bounce. But appreciate you for coming through. You have a good night, and that's right, JB will be streaming again tomorrow for the Patriots and the Titans. And you said, gotta go. See you tomorrow, and good night. Yeah, good night to you. See you tomorrow. Take care as always. And again, tomorrow's Friday, so looking forward to that. I read up under center here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the Atlanta side of the field from Atlanta's 42-yard line, they snap the ball, give it to the back in the back. Off the left tackle there, takes it to about the 39-yard line of Atlanta there. So pick up 3 yards. That's Greg Bell on the carry. Let's see. O says, yeah, I don't think Mac is starting. And so, all right, so he won't be playing. All right, well, if they've seen enough, then they've seen enough. Then as long as I get to see Malik Cunningham, then I'll be happy about that. If we can see Malik, I'll be happy about that. All right, they give it to the back, and he'll pick up about 2 yards on the carry. He said because the O-line hasn't been looking good at all. Hopefully they play Cunningham more. So I'm hoping so too. It's a great opportunity with this third preseason game here. Let's take a nice hard look at him. And then we come away from that game liking what we see. Deal Bailey Zappa somewhere. Send him to San Francisco. Then let San Francisco let Trey Lance know, like, oh, you're actually going to be like our 4th quarterback. Just want to let you know. All right, here we go. 3rd and 5. They snap the ball. Throws it. Incomplete. Incomplete. So now we've got 4th down coming up here. 4th and 5. Again, the Steelers up 24-0, about to punt the ball. And again, right now the challenge for them is that they want to find a way to finish this one out with as a blowout, as a complete dominant blowout without letting Atlanta score. So we'll see if Atlanta can find a way to score. And again, we're at the commercial here with 11 minutes and 28 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter of play, in which it has been Pittsburgh dominating first half there. Offense looking great. Second half, it's just been about the defenses so far in this one. Let's see. O says it seems like Zeke and Stevens will be 50-50 backs, and so okay. I mean, hey, it keeps them fresh. Keeps them fresh. So, okay. I guess that's the commercial here. All right, so we got a carry here by Carlos Washington. And so far today, he's got now 7 carries for 14 yards, including a fumble earlier. But that was a 5-yard pickup there. Taking it all the way to the Atlanta 14-yard line. 2nd and 5 coming up here for the Falcons, who are still trying to find their first points of the game. Trailing 24-0 here in this one. Throws it to the back, out of the backfield there. Going to get the completion there. Picks up 6 yards on the play. Woodside with a completion to Washington, taking the ball to the Atlanta 20-yard line. All right, takes a snap. Quick pass to the slot receiver. And gets out of bounds after picking up 9 yards on the play. And that's Harris once again. He's got 5 catches for 64 yards here tonight. All right, 2nd and 1. Got to do some tempo here offensively, so they're hurrying up. Takes a snap. Throws it short. Gets it completed. And once again, let's see this one to Harris again. Okay. So Harris moving the chains. Can he help them get their first points and only points so far that we're still waiting for Atlanta to get here? He heads to the sideline for a breather. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. They snap the ball, give it to the back, and the back's going to pick up 3 yards. Second and 7. Throws the ball and gets the completion all the way to about the 43-yard line. Picks up about 4 yards there. So now we've got ourselves 3rd and short. All right, so we got 3rd and 3. Gets the snap. Throws it over the middle. Ball's tipped and it's incomplete over the middle. That time, he saw the running back there. He could have thrown it to the running back, but he chose to take the more difficult pass there, incomplete. And now with 4th down coming up, it looks like they should go for it here, because why not? All right, so here we go. 4th and 3. So with 4th and short, let's see what they call here. They're going to go 5 wide. Pittsburgh showing pressure. Will they send pressure? We'll see. And this play is going to be blown dead. That means a false start here against the offense, and that's going to back them up 5 yards. All right, so yeah, that penalty backs them up. That's against the guard there. Javon Glenn with that false start, number 56. Punt's on the way. And gets it about the 22-yard line. Sorry, not 22-yard line, 16-yard line. And so we will see now what Pittsburgh will do once again offensively here, up 24-0. 7 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock. And again, I'm pretty sure the goal for them, take as much time off the clock as possible, try to score, and most certainly try to keep Atlanta from scoring. I'm sure that's what Pittsburgh's mindset is right now the rest of the way. And again, we are currently right now at the commercial here. Let's see. O says, JB, great job tonight. It's a boring game, but you keep it fun. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And so sometimes we end up with these types of games and stuff like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with preseason, that's to be expected that sometimes we'll get outcomes like that, especially since Pittsburgh came into the game with their starters, but Atlanta not so much with their starting offense there. So it had that possibility. Possibility. Absolutely. But again, looking forward to tomorrow's matchup. And then Saturday, I'll be streaming the first college football game of the season. That's right, week 0, opening week. And I will be streaming the Ohio Bobcats versus the San Diego State Aztecs in that matchup there. So I know there was a couple options there. Almost chose the Navy Notre Dame game, but since that game came on earlier today and I went to spend some time with my wife, so therefore I chose to choose the latter game between the Bobcats and also the Aztecs, and see, hey, that game could turn out to be interesting. I feel like that's the kind of game that you could potentially see like in a bowl game or something like that. So at the end of the season, so it'll be a fun matchup. All right, pick it up under center, gives it to the back, and he is going to get brought down at the Pittsburgh 18-yard line, but picked up 2 yards on the carry. Again, that is Valladay with the carry. He's got 6 yards. I'm sorry, 6 carries on 24 yards. That's right. This is the final week of preseason, so paying attention to roster moves, a lot of trades, all that stuff. Gonna want to keep your eye out for that. All right, so they give it to the running back again. He picks up another 2 yards. 26 yards on the night so far for Valladay. Again, Pittsburgh, they want to run this clock right now. All right, 3rd and 6. Tight end goes in motion. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Rudolph taking a shot here, and it's going to be incomplete. He's looking to the referee, trying to find a penalty here. No penalty in sight, and so that's going to bring up 4th down. So just like that, the Falcons defense get a stop here. Too little, too late, but at least they get the stop here. And another beautiful punt here inside the 20 for Pittsburgh. Again, still right now, commercial. 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go here in the game. Steelers up 24-0 right now. And so far for the Atlanta Falcons, Logan Woodside, he's taken almost all of the passes here. Heineke did have 2 pass attempts for 0 yards, but he's got all the passing yards here. And he's 20 of 27 for 171 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions so far today. Rushing-wise, Carlos Washington Jr., 8 carries, 17 yards for the Falcons. Woodside had a 6-yard carry, and Godwin, he had a 4 yards on the night off of 4 carries. And receiving-wise, it is Khalil Harris. He's got 6 catches for 71 yards so far tonight off of 8 targets. Matthew Sexton, he had 3 catches, 29 yards. J.J. Whiteside, 3 catches, 27 yards. Carlos Washington Jr. also had 2 catches out of the backfield for 17 yards as well. Josh Alai, he's got 2 catches, 12 yards. Parker Hesse, he's got 3 catches for 10 yards. John Fitzpatrick, 1 catch, 5 yards as well off of 4 targets. As for Pittsburgh, right now, Mason Rudolph is currently quarterbacking right now for Pittsburgh. He's 3 of 7 for 15 yards passing. Mitch Trubisky, 7 of 9 for 59 yards passing. And Kenny Pickett started off the game 4 of 4 for 86 yards passing. On the ground for Pittsburgh, Anthony McFarland, 10 carries, 55 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Valladay now has 7 carries for 26 yards. Mitch Trubisky has a run also for 24 yards. Meanwhile, the Falcons pass the ball and get the completion here to Washington for an additional 6 yards on the play, taking the ball to the Atlanta 25-yard line. So let's see what they call on 2nd and 4. Again, 5 minutes and 32 seconds left to go here in the 4th. They take the snap, gives it to the back, and the back is going to pick up a yard on the carry, and that's going to make it 3rd and short here, 3rd and 3 coming up. Let's see, says Steelers could do good this year. It seems like mostly their rookies are doing really good. And so, yeah, their rookies are doing good, and their second-year players are doing outstanding. and stuff like that. You know, Pickens, Pickett, Jalen Warren, their second year guys are really taking it to another level. So when your draft classes are contributing, and they was already like, I considered them last year to be right on the same level as the Patriots and stuff like that in terms of just, you know, being just on that outside, could maybe get in, but more so on the outside. And so I feel like both teams are really taking that next step this year. So AFC is already competitive. It's going to be a very, very fun NFL season. Best believe that. Best believe that. As for Atlanta, this is just preseason. Obviously, we didn't get to see Desmond Ritter and stuff like that, but that's going to be the factor. How good of a season is Ritter going to actually have, and can he continue to improve throughout the course of the season? There, we know that they're going to be a run-first team, but can they put it all together offensively? Meanwhile, they give it to the back here, and Washington's going to lose 3 yards there on the carry. But more importantly at this point is that, you know, it runs the clock. And we're going to hit the commercial here. And at this point, I'm pretty sure both teams, they just want to see this clock continue to run at this point. But again, just a reminder that tomorrow I will be streaming for the Patriots and the Titans. I am excited about that. Saturday we have a stream college football. Sunday we'll return for NFL preseason, which I believe will be the final preseason game. So JB's excited. JB's excited. But yeah, I like what I've seen from Pittsburgh in the preseason here. I mean, there's just certain things that you can see, and you can see a team that's playing together. They're on the same page. That much is obvious in preseason. So that it doesn't matter to me how many points you win by, all that stuff. But do you look like you're on the same page when you're making those tough contested throws? Are you hitting your receiver in stride? And are you overthrowing them? Are you running the wrong routes? Little stuff like that gives you an indication of, are these guys on the same page chemistry-wise? How strong is that chemistry? And I've seen some good things from Pittsburgh against Atlanta, against Buffalo. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do. That division is going to be a good one. There's a lot of great divisions. Everywhere you look in the AFC and stuff like that, exception being AFC South, I would say. But they have their own teams as well. But every other division is going to be a dogfight to the very end. All right, so with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the fourth, Pittsburgh up 24-0 with the football here. They want to ice it. They want to make sure that Atlanta does not get any points on the board. I'm sure that's the game plan. They take the snap. They are looking to pass it here. And Mason Rudolph, he just got rid of that ball. He said, get that ball out of my hand. Just threw it incomplete, short. And so second down coming up, 2nd and 10. Old sets for New England. I see Lumpkin, Bout. That's right. We'll tell you. Cunningham and the rookie kicker actually kick a fit. Yes, please. I need to see the kid. Every year we're drafting these rookie kickers, and I'm like, I need to see them actually do something, you know. So yes, absolutely. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. All right, gives it to the back. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in this one. Gonna line up in the shotgun. They take the snap. Rudolph taking a shot here in the end zone, incomplete. He was targeting Dez Fitzpatrick there. It's going to be incomplete. Listen, he said, because I think you get a 5th or 7th round pick for fall. That's right, but I'm starting to look like they're keeping 2 kickers, and so it really is looking that way. It really is. But hey, I won't complain about that. All right, meanwhile, speaking of kickers, this kicker missed it. And so not what you want to see from your kicker here in the preseason. And so I guess something had to go wrong for them. But, wow. And that was Potter. So I take it he'll be looking for a new team after this game. And wow. So just like that, Woodside took a shot there. And you look at that play again, and the guy, I'm sure he felt the guy behind him, but the guy did a good job getting there, reaching a hand out there, and that is a sack fumble recovered by Pittsburgh. So just not the game you want. If you're still here and you're a Falcon fan and you're watching the stream, I appreciate that because that means you're just here because of me at this point. It is certainly not for what you've seen today. But again, I say all that to say it's just the preseason. So we will not overreact to the preseason. All right, well, Pittsburgh does get the football here, and they're 22 yards away from the end zone right now. So let's see if they look to add some more points. The running back stumbles for about a yard. That's Greg Bell on the carry. He's got 4 carries for 9 yards. 3 minutes left to go in this game. Medical staff looking at Woodside there. He did take a shot while throwing it there, so hoping that he's okay. All right, here we go. One back in the backfield. That's Higgins. Receiver goes in motion. And they're going to give it to the back in the back, trying to get to the outside, cuts up, and picks up about 3 yards on the play. Old says, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new, welcome. They're absolutely right. If you're new to the stream here and you're like, hey, I like football, and of course, if you're watching the stream, you like football, make sure that you press that subscribe button and do press the like button as well, as we are just getting ready. This is just the start of what's going to be an amazing season. I am ecstatic looking forward to the season here. And then just thinking that, in a couple of days, college football is literally about to start. We're going to get to see Navy versus Notre Dame. I'll be streaming the Ohio Bobcats. That's right, Ohio, not Ohio State, the Ohio Bobcats versus San Diego State. So that should be an interesting one, I hope. And just so many games. USC will be playing San Jose State. And then not to mention all this NFL preseason games that's finishing up. Most of them will be taking place Saturday as well. So a great weekend, and it's only going to get better. Again, I went ahead and scheduled like my next 7 streams in advance after this one. So that way you guys can look and see, which games I'm thinking over the next couple of weeks. And hey, I'm excited for it. But we are at the 2-minute warning now, so 2 minutes left to go in this one, in which Pittsburgh will come away with the win. And hey, for the first time in who knows how long, the AFC North does have a team that's undefeated in the preseason. It's just not the Baltimore Ravens right now. It's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers and stuff like that. Again, last time we streamed, we did see Baltimore lose in crushing fashion to the Washington Commanders. And now we're watching Pittsburgh steamroll Atlanta here in the preseason. So is this a sample of what's to come? Who knows? I mean, we know that Joe Burrow, he got injured. Will it be something that lingers the entire season and stuff like that? You know, like there's so many things in the NFL that change from year to year. And right now, Pittsburgh is looking like they're going to be a team that's going to be fighting in this division all the way throughout the course of the season. All right, so here we go, getting ready to shortly return to the action here. With 2 minutes left to go in this one. Yes, I am ready for some meaningful football. Not that these don't mean anything, because they do. But I'm ready for some regular season football to finally get started soon. Here we go, 3rd and 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got one thing on their mind right now, and that's the score. All right, they take the snap. Atlanta sending pressure. Throws it, gets the completion there, but excellent job by the defense there. Let's see. O says Steelers do everyone a favor and just kneel the ball 3 times. And so, right? But they just got 4th down coming up here. So, yeah, so they will not be doing that. But if Atlanta cares about us for sticking with them, Atlanta will go out there and just say, fine, we'll just run this ball out. We'll just run this ball. All right, so it is 4th and 11. So rather than bring out the field goal unit here, they're going to go ahead and go for it here. So Potter gets no chance at a redemption here. They snap it, gonna throw it, and he catches it, but I think just one foot was in, the other was out of bounds there. So they tried to go for the jugular there. It did not work. Receiver's frustrated right now. He knows that was his big chance there. So, very interesting decision. I would have liked to give the kid Porter a chance to redeem himself. I know it's the preseason there, but for the sake of his confidence, I would have given him another chance to go out there and redeem himself since we're up 24-0 and stuff like that. So why not? But they opted to go for it there, and it didn't work. So now Atlanta's going to come back out here, and let's see what they do. So Atlanta takes a snap, and they're going to hand it to the back here, Washington. And so he's going to take it all the way to about the 28-yard line for Atlanta. A little bit of pushing and shoving taking place here. Referees get in between it. All right, they picked up some yards here. So let's see. Atlanta said we might can score. So they hurry up. They snap it. Feels the pressure. He's scrambling. He gets brought down. He picked up about, let's see, about a good 6-7 yards there. Now they're hurrying up. 3rd and 1. He throws it, and oh, lucky for him, he threw that pass behind. Because if he would have threw that ball in front, he would have got lit up by the defender. So good job by Woodside having the quarterback awareness and not just get the ball out quickly, but throw it away from the defender. Sometimes help your receiver out. Sometimes you can prevent a concussion or something like that just simply by putting the football in a place where only your guy can get it and he can still protect himself. Because that defender was coming at him. That ball would have been placed in front. Takes the snap, throws it, and takes it to the 45-yard line. 53 seconds left to go. And look at Arthur Blank right there, wishing that he could suit up and help his Falcons out. He is not happy, though. He is not happy. Woodside throws it and gets the completion, takes it all the way to midfield here. 38 seconds left to go. They're hurrying up. 30 seconds left. Going to give it to the back again. He picks up the first down. 24 seconds here, and Atlanta's going to burn their final timeout on this play. Stops the clock at 24 seconds. Oh, and I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the business of doing anybody any favors right now at all. So we have 1st and 10. Looking. Oh, he is sacked. He is sacked. What a huge sack that was. Wow. Wow. So on that note, they're hurrying up now. I mean, it took long enough before they try to hurry up and before everybody gets set. And Woodside decides it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. He says, "The heck with this." He's done. So that is the game. Listen, O says, yes, Steelers trying to make a statement. And so absolutely, absolutely. So whether you want to chalk this up to just it being a preseason or if you believe the Pittsburgh Steelers are for real, one thing we know for sure, we're about to get some answers to a lot of questions that we have from what we've seen so far, and I am excited here. This game is done, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, but I thank you guys so much for coming through and joining me. And just a reminder, I'll be here tomorrow, so hopefully you guys will be able to come out and make it. If not, I'll be here over the weekend as well. But thank you guys so much for joining, and take care, everybody. Have a good night. Remember, tomorrow's Friday, so, hey, enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Oh, it says, great stream, JB. And so, yes, appreciate that and appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. You have a good night. Take care. Be safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.